Well, one person. Hello. So, no, I'm not in Austin today. When more people show up, I will explain what the heck is going on. But I am in Salado, Texas. I think it's about a third of the way when I go to Austin. So, I had to relocate, and I'll explain why later. It's not a big deal. It's just I couldn't make it to all the way to Austin today. So we're just gonna. Let's. Oh, why is my? Oh my goodness, the power went off. Why? There we go. Sorry guys, my power went off on my gimbal for no reason. So hang on, I'm trying to get the right program. Come on now. Oh my goodness. Nothing ever works right when I change things. I'm just trying to change the mode. It's saying it's not connected to my phone, but it is. Hold on just a second. Can I get to it? Please bear with me, guys. I've got it in landscape. Alright. I'm gonna have to leave and come back. I'm sorry. This is not working. Alright, I will come right back. This did not go well. Every single time I try something new, it never goes well. Never. I'm definitely not one of those on-the-go live streamers, I'll tell you. Oh. And then when all I was trying to do is update the time in the description because I was going to be late, and it just every time I try to edit it, it disappears. So hopefully people will find me today. Hi Carrie Ann. Hey, somebody's here. Hi Susan. Yeah, I had some serious technical difficulties today. Yeah, I watched you was that yesterday, Carrie Ann? Yesterday or the day before. Thanks for being here, guys, because I had it pre-set for 2, and so I'm on location. Hubby said it's towards the end of the month. I need to be careful of our funds. So I decided the picture on the thumbnail of the one I was going to do, I was going to take y'all to a really pretty trail, Chalk Ridge Falls. But as soon as I parked, I wasn't getting reception because it's below the dam. It's like valley. So I'm like, all right, I'm this close to Salado, which is where we are. It's really pretty little town. Hi, Hellgear. Yeah, I finally made it. Hi, Ruth. So I couldn't go to Austin, and the first location didn't pan out. I tried to change the time and say I was going to be late, and I completely erased my live stream, so I redid it. Then my gimbal, for some reason, the app you're supposed to connect to is not on my phone anymore. So when I left, I was trying to re-download it, and I said, you know what, screw this. I've got my old basic selfie stick. I just grabbed it out and put the phone on it. So I'm going to just walk slower so it doesn't bounce. It's very beautiful. People come here to take pictures and have weddings. So now I got enough people here, I'll tell you about the place. So I passed Salado. When I hit Salado, I know I'm about 25-ish minutes out, 30 minutes from Colleen. So if you see this sign, it's historic. Everything in this town is historic. Everything. When we got here in the 90s, it was an antique town. And that was in the 90s. And it was affordable. A lot of thrift, secondhand places. Well, in the intervening 25 years, it has become very popular, and it's all become high-end antique stores and galleries, and things like that. Hi, Fluffer Squirrel. Thanks for being here. I had some serious technical difficulties today. So, we're in Salado, Texas. If you look it up, people come here from all around. Now, I haven't been here really in years because really it got out of my price range. And another thing, I don't remember hearing the highway this bad. So, I thought I would just go on. So, the original place I wanted to go was a really pretty, it's called Chalkridge Falls. It's on the other side of the dam. We have two big lakes because of the military base. One is on post. They were both man-made by the Army Corps engineers. And to make Stillhouse Lake, they put up a dam, and on the other side of the dam is the creek. And they use it. They'll release water into it when they need to. And it's like a valley, so I was going to walk along the creek there, which may even be the creek we're going to cross. Not sure. I didn't look at the map. Hi, Sunday. So, this place is beautiful. I used to come here all the time. They do have a bead store, but it's way at the beginning it's one road, Main Street. There's other roads, but it's just one main road where all the galleries and stuff are. A lot of historical homes. They actually have a thing, I've never done it, but they have, and I don't know what it's called, but they have a tour of homes, and all the people that own historical homes will open them up, and you can go tour that day. And I'd really love to do that. Like I said, when I first started coming here, we actually looked about moving here, but it was a little bit too far of a drive for my husband to have to be at PT at 6 in the morning, 5:30. Oh, sorry about the wind, guys. Let me cover the mic. And at that time, the high school, the senior class had 12 people. It's since built a new school. They have quite a few more. And it's boomed quite a bit. A lot of tourists. It's all tourist stuff. You can see there's all these little strip malls. See, I know, I watched this guy Cash in New York, and he shows the neighborhoods, and he always does it so fast that I have to put it on 0.75 speed because I want to see what the neighborhood looks like. He's just so fast when he films. He's like, here. So I'm going to try to go slow. Let's see, we've got an art gallery. So we've got a lot of art galleries now, where it used to be all antiques and secondhand, and there was a pottery store I loved. I wanted to get dishes there, but they ended up closing. We're not really in like what I would consider the main part, where the whole street is. So I had a whole list of notes, but it's in my backpack. Let me know if it gets too bouncy. I'll slow down. And if it gets too noisy. Hopefully when we get down here, I don't know if I-35 just has more traffic, because it does kind of go right along the highway. It's not very far. Why is it every time I try to go someplace pretty and peaceful, all I hear is highway, even in Austin? I like quiet places. That's the one thing I was a little bit disappointed in. When we bought our house where it's at, I didn't really pay attention, but it's the only place where the highway is raised, and it comes right over all the houses, and I can hear it in my yard. I can't sit outside and hear peacefulness, or peace, I should say. So, they got a lease. Oh, we're almost to where they do the creek, where they do a lot of wedding photos. I'm almost always see somebody taking wedding photos down here. See down here how pretty it is. I believe this is called Salado Creek. I'll have to see a sign. There used to be a gazebo. But yeah, down on those rocks down there, they're always taking photos and stuff. There's another bridge back there that I walked to before I started. There used to be a store there where you could, it was all plants and overgrown, and you could walk all the way down to the other creek. But I looked and that business isn't there anymore. Oh, no, the gazebo's gone. There used to be a gazebo over there. Wonder why it's gone. If it wasn't for the highway, this would be very peaceful. Probably down there in the creek, it's not as loud. So, while we're looking at pretties, we can talk. So, the reason I'm not in Austin is hubby just said it's the end of the month. We need to be a little bit careful with the funds. And we didn't budget well. That's just the way we are sometimes. We used to go because he gets most of his checks on the 1st, and he gets a little security check on the 15th. We used to go to Barnes and Noble and do the budget the 1st of every month because to get away from distractions, and we haven't been doing that for a while, and it's showing. We're not budgeting well. Hi, good. I'm slow with my cane. So I'm sure all of you have been watching everyone else talking about the brouhaha going on. Let me check the chat real quick because it disappears when there's not a lot. Alright, we're good. All this traffic, and it's during the day on a weekday. I don't remember this much traffic. Maybe I am at the end. But it has changed. I haven't been down here in a long time. It used to be like really a lot of trees and a lot of little shops, and I think some shops have been disappeared. Now there's a place called the Stagecoach Inn. I think it really was an inn during Stagecoach times, but don't quote me on that. Used to get really good food there and stuff, but I heard they closed their dining room and stuff. The owners were getting older. But yeah, all my notes was really from watching Oh No Nora talking about Stephanie's blog. Personally, I wish these people would just stop talking and go away. They're not serving a purpose. They're not helping anyone. There's really no point. And the only reason I bring it up is, she was attacking protesters. But everyone else besides just her feels the same way. Even if I wasn't protesting, I would feel the same way. Because, I watched before I started. Every protester has their own way of doing things. And it works. If it didn't work, they wouldn't have anybody watching, now would they? Ooh, there's a pizza place. There used to be a place that sold only Tuscan art, home furnishings. I think that's more towards the front. Which, if I don't find any more buildings, I'm going to turn around and go back that way. I think I'm at I'm not sure if this goes east to west. I'd be at the east end, or I'm at the southern end. I'm not sure. Oh, I've been wanting to come here. So this place, Chupacabra, you can go in there and, where are they? Oh, right there. I found them online, but I haven't been here yet. You can get like tasting trays of beer. They have board games you can play in there. They have a huge wall of wine. I don't like wine. It's Chupacabra and Salado Lone Star beer, I think. So the beer some of the beer they serve is from an actual brewery. Oh, it's the whole place, it looks like. So Chupacabra Craft Beer and Salado Lone Star Winery, if you can see the sign. So, I've been wanting to come here. So you can do beer and wine tasting. I found out why I don't like wine. When I did my DNA test, there were a few things that they tested. I have the bitter gene. I don't like bitter. Because I never could understand why I couldn't there was one wine I found. Well, actually, I think it was Boone's Farm. Because it was super, super sweet. Yep, I'm at the end. So we'll turn around and go the other way. But we all know, even if we just watch, that all the protesters, no matter what somebody wants to say, okay, this is the Stagecoach Inn, and it says restaurant. Maybe they closed the rooms. They closed something. I'm going to cross here. There's nothing after this. It goes up that way, and then you can get back on the freeway. Isn't it cute? I wanted to, back when my daughter got married, it was still open. I wanted to do her honeymoon here, but they chose to do something else. Now this little building, this was the Potter where I originally bought pottery from. And it's a historic building. It's a real log cabin. I like walking tours of different areas, good commentary. Oh, well, thanks. Well, I did want to stick on the Scientology part, but now I don't even have a title. My original title that I messed up because I was late, was about the drama. Why we should all be working to end Scientology, not causing drama amongst each other. It doesn't serve any purpose. And to be honest, all they do is keep giving us content. You would think that would be enough to make them stop, but they don't. Especially those former Scientologists. You would think, I thought she was a former Scientologist. Imagine my surprise when I found out she wasn't. It's just, who is she? And do you all know who I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. If you've been on YouTube at all, you know what's going on. That Stephanie person. Oh, here's a hotel. Shady Villa Hotel. It's not very, unless it's back there. Oh, that's where, okay. Something's back there. I've never gone down any of the, oh, look. Can you guys see the coach, the wagon down there? There's definitely horses here because I had to bypass some horse doo-doo. But yeah, this is the whole town is historic. If you didn't hear me earlier, thank you, jerk face. Cowboy Music Gathering, May 4th. If anybody's in the area, we'll look at the sign. May 4th. There's their info. She sounds like she likes Sciento. Sure does act like it. Somebody said, yeah, if she gets kicked off the Aftermath, she can join OSA. They'll hire her. Oh, there's no sidewalk on this side. Whoops. I'm gonna have to cross back again. Oh, look at that cute car. Look, it's got eyelashes. Or thinks there is something to respect and save. There isn't. I know, right? Why would you have anything to say about people protesting? That it's not doing any good when everyone is saying they're getting more phone calls. Even the Aftermath Foundation, I heard, was getting more phone calls. Let's see what these signs over here say. Built 1922, Bureau of Public Roads. Okay. So I guess there's a map I should get that tells me all the historical. Main Street bridges, 1870, laid out in 1859. The first bridge, 1868. It was destroyed in a 1900 flood. I could see a flood happening here. Salado was officially established in 1859 when Colonel E.S.C. Robertson donated land for a town site and for a college. Colonel Herman Aiken drew a plat for the town, which developed along its main street. However, there had been activity here long before this time, as Native Americans and Spanish explorers, among others, came through the spring-fed land. Oh, the creek is spring-fed. The explorers used the term Salado, meaning salty, in referring to this area, likely confusing Salado Creek and the Lampasas River. By 1852, a post office opened to serve a growing community on the Bernie and Blair stage line from Austin to Waco. Yeah, we're exactly almost between Austin and Waco. Several hotels opened in the settlement, including the Salado Hotel. So that's how they started and why there's a Stagecoach Inn. It is pretty. I could see why a town started here. Let me check comments. This is called Salado, Texas. I pass it every time I go to Austin. It's about 25-30 minutes from where I live. I'm crossing. Fast cars. It's only 30 through here, people. On weekends, it's a lot different. There's the traffic drives slower. There's more people walking. This would be the Salado Creek then. See how pretty it looks. I've never been down there. Oh, no, I take that back. I think I went down there once when the kids were little. My kids are in their 30s now, so that tells you how long it's been since I've been down there. Like I said, there used to be, right there on that platform where the two tables are, there was a gazebo. I think that's where it was. And I still, whenever I come down here, if you drive by, you usually, on weekends, you see somebody in a wedding dress getting a picture, or prom. So it's a very touristy destination. If you're ever driving through, give it a stop. There's a lot of shops. I probably won't even be able to show you at the beginning. I almost parked at the beginning, but I honestly couldn't remember how long it was because I've never actually walked the whole thing. You usually park, you go through a bunch of shops, and then you move on. That looks like there's a lodge there. There's way more hotels than I remember. They look like hotels or B&Bs or whatever. Maybe we'll come stay here one day for our anniversary or something. That would be fun. Not that far. I meant to keep it far away from my face too, so you don't hear me breathing hard. I haven't been this active since before 2010, but I'm trying to take advantage of being out. I'm not going to do this in place of my Austin lives later, but I may do some walking tours where we don't talk about Scientology, or maybe I don't talk at all. This one I have to talk, because I have to tell you guys where everything's at, and it's pretty cool. But, you know, I have my opinions. That's why I'm always in chats. Everybody pretty much, 99.99999% of the rest of us, SPTV, is in agreement that you don't tell protesters how to protest. I mean, unless they're doing something illegal, making us look bad, or like they're violent, yeah, I would say something. We all would. We don't put up with that bull crap. But that's not what's going on. And you never know what's going to click in somebody's brain. They even said it was Natalie and I think Nora that when Anonymous was protesting, wasn't that the late 90s? That put a little seed in their brain. They weren't out there being nice. They were yelling, had masks on. I saw pictures with signs. This is a child trafficking or abusing, or this is a cult. And you know, I thought about it. I was talking to my husband about it. You know, Pearl Snappy and the rest of them, they'll yell child trafficker at them when they're going in and out. And you don't know that might make, say a staff member that maybe hasn't been through the Sea Org, may not know everything. Because it sounds to me like members don't even talk to each other because they'll get in trouble if they say anything negative. That she might rethink what's going on around her and start looking and watching and paying attention and be like, what, is this a child trafficking? Why would somebody say that? I think she needs to educate herself on different types of protests in history and possibly have people learn in different ways before she speaks again. She won't. I think there is something to respect. Oh, you said that. Sorry, I meant to have my good gimbal so I wasn't bouncing. I'm trying to walk slow. Isn't that pretty? And there's a lot of places you can do events here. There's actually a lot less shops than I remember. It was like wall-to-wall antique stores and stuff. Now it's like just galleries and stuff. Now at the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way back to the beginning because that's where some of the more of the shops that you can shop at, and the bead store is there. I think if the Tuscan shop is still there, that place was amazing. The ones that started at a young age, no different. Exactly. They all think it's normal. Remember when Natalie and Aaron have mentioned that, you know, when they got followed, they're like, oh, we were just followed. They didn't think it was a big deal. They thought, oh, well, that's just normal, when it's not. I've never been followed home. So these are new. They're everywhere. They're like these little resting chairs. See, one over there. They were back there. They're everywhere. I have to find out why. They're cute. Some artists probably made them. They do have a lot of artists. Back there was... Did we pass the second bridge yet? Oh, we haven't. I'll show you. There's a... Okay. I'm trying to keep my camera off people. They don't want to be on camera. I just really hate the road noise. It kind of ruins the whole thing. But can't help. I don't remember that much road noise. This is pretty. The Nature Company, Salado. They have they sell plants and natural things. And see, all of them have a historical marker. These buildings have been here a long time. Beautiful. Oh, how much are their plants? I need some. Let's see. 4 and 6. And 4 inches, 6, 10, and $12. That's not bad. Not bad at all. We should go slow. See, like, I know that building was antique stores. Now it's businesses. So it's become more of a modern town now. They have more businesses because they've gotten more of an influx of people living here because so many people can't afford to live in Austin. They commute. I think you could probably get to Austin from here. I'm trying to think. Probably, with no traffic, of course. Probably to the northern border, 35 minutes. So I can see a lot of people living here and commuting. And now that they've really fixed all of our freeways, you can get places a lot faster. So this is a hair design studio, hair salon. So you can see how old these buildings are. Let me know if I'm bouncing too much. I can Susan, the ones that... Oh, you told me that. Okay. And I'm sure they have to keep them historical. But there are a lot of other houses up in the country around here. My daughter had a friend that lived out here once. And oh my gosh, they had cows and a farm and everything, but their house was new. It was huge. It echoed. But it was cool. It was kind of rustic. It had cement floors and stone walls, and it was pretty cool. Oh, there's a pottery store. I'm going to cross. There's Main Street Cafe. There used to be a tea house. I don't know if it's still here. We're going to cross over. See what's over here. Mud Pies Pottery. I'd love to go in there, but you guys want me to go in? They'd probably let me if I asked. I love pottery. I want to start working pottery again. I used to, on Post, they have a craft center. Susan, I'm going to have my sister take me there when I visit Dallas. Yeah, which way are you coming from, Susan? Because it's pretty far from Dallas. Unless you're coming from Austin or to Austin. You want me to go in? Oh, Sir Wigglesworth homemade fudge. Arkansas. Are you going to go to Austin? Because if you're going to Austin, you will pass right by it on I-35. You'll take it all the way there. Let me know, because I've been planning on going to the Dallas org if you're doing that, or if you're just visiting. But I've been thinking, Tim Paraditology. I was going to get with him about visiting him in Houston at the Houston org. I want to travel. Hi, Poet. I had to be on location today. I couldn't make it all the way to Austin. So I'm in this town about 25 minutes. It's about not quite halfway. It used to be a big antique town. And okay, Susan. Yeah, just email me and we can exchange phone numbers if you are. Let's see what the sign says. Mud Pies Pottery, homemade fudge. They're closed on Wednesday or Tuesday. Oh, that's too bad. I was gonna ask. Most people will be like, sure. Gives them some advertising. I was gonna go in. They're closed. That's another thing about it being like a tourist spot. They want to be open on weekends, so their closed days are during the week. Like I said, I hadn't planned on coming here. Here's coffee, food, shopping. I might hit that place before I go home. Isabella's Vintage Decor. Ice cream. A lot of places to eat now. Gelato. Oh, I've been in this store, I think. CBD. Oh no, it was a different store. I tried some CBD oil from here. Didn't really do anything for me. We'll be getting to that if we go all the way there. I'll show you. It's near the bead store. When I do come, I only come to the bead store and go. Because last time I came, I was still working, so it was before 2010. And I worked with two other women that made jewelry, so we all three came down. So that's the last time I think I was here. Like 2009. Let's see. Yeah, the buildings are way cute. Like I said, I'm sorry, but before it got all gentrified, I thought it was way better. It was a lot of little shops, a lot of secondhand stuff, antiques. Like, they say it antiques, but it was affordable. And this is the second bridge. There's no water down there. I'm not sure what this is. I walked on the other bridge. You can tell there's horses. There's doo-doo. Of course you do, because we're in the country. Salado kind of sits way all by itself. When I go by Salado, there is nothing until Georgetown, and there is nothing. Nowhere to really stop. When I get by Salado, our vet is actually in Salado. When we used to have chickens, here's a nice little house. One of them got injured, and the only place that worked on birds was Salado Animal Hospital. So we drove out here with our chicken, and they did an awesome job. It was her head. What it was is I had 2 new chickens and 2 older chickens, and I was introducing them. And I had her on my lap. And my other chicken, who we called Big Bird, she was big and yellow. She was looking at her and just whap! Just pecked her real hard and ripped the side of her head where their ears are. And I thought for sure that she was going to die. They put 2 staples in it, and she was fine. So after that, we really liked them. They're hardly busy like the other vets. And our vet retired, so we bring our dogs all the way out here. Matter of fact, I got to stop on the way home and get one of my littles has allergies. She's on allergy medicine now. Yeah, I know, right? Well, it was just too soon. They eventually we only had 4 total. They were more like pets. The first 2, I could literally bring in at night, because we didn't have a great chicken coop at first. So when it got near freezing and stuff, they would come in, and I had a wing chair by the door, threw a blanket over it, and they would just sit there and sleep all night. Big Bird was a bully. But I waited a little bit longer when they got a little bigger, and then I put them together. What I did is, you introduce them slow, so when they get big enough, we had a chicken coop then. So you put 2 in the chicken coop, and you lock it, and you let the other 2 roam so they can go up to each other through the wire and get to know each other. So I was new to it. Vice did a documentary on Scientology. It needs more views. Caribbean Bandit. I'll check it out. I've watched Vice do a couple things. Now, is that the one where the guy is in the mask? So I've seen clips of it. I just haven't watched the whole thing. I'll go check it out. Now, as you can see right there, this is why we're here in the freeway. It's right there. Now, along the highway, there are a few shops and things. A couple places to eat. But I'm noticing that there's so many more normal businesses, like lawyers and, different things. There's a construction. So it's kind of gotten away from what it once was. Let's see. So somebody might actually just live there now. I'm gonna find out. I think they do it in the fall. It's a house tour, and all of the historic homes open their doors for tours. And you can get a map of all the houses you can go to. See, look, we've got painting, quality painting. Those are all businesses. And when I used to come here, this was all shops. It's still worth a stop. There's a lot of places you can stop and eat and get a snack. Now, when you go closer to the highway that way, it's kind of normal. They have a grocery store and a bank and stuff like that. So, let's see. Hey, Kid Freshie, what's up? We're on location. Jenna Miscavige describes the mind-numbing activities that took over her bright, curious mind in early childhood on the ranch. I know, and that was so sad. That's why I got angry about that she had the audacity to critique her for doing a middle finger chalk drawing. And I'm like, yeah, you're obviously a never end, because what I saw there when she did that was somebody that had gotten out and was able to stand in front of flag, the big bad Scientology, and give them the finger. And that probably really helped in her healing. This place is unoccupied, it looks like. So, yeah, it was crass. What she did was just, she has no class. She has no right. She has no business saying anything about the protesters. If you're not a part of it, then shut up. Oh, there's a normal house. Now that may have always been here. I'm at the end that not a lot of people. Okay. I'm tired of the drama too. So much pearl clutching and accusations and shaming, etc. from people supposedly protesting a cult that shames and accuses and stifles free expression. Kid Freshie, couldn't said it better myself. Exactly. We all know it. That's why we're here. Nobody's agreeing with her. But the other people on the foundation board are somewhat silent. So then Carrie Ann was telling me that on her channel that Claire did an interview with Jessica Palmadessa. And immediately I was like, there is no way. Oh, there's an optometrist here. I told you they're taking over. Now there's a bakery and a cafe over there, but then you got insurance, acupuncture. I need that. And there's a few antique stores. Maybe they've moved mostly along the highway. But yeah. So I'm going back and forth. I want you guys to see everything. There's a lot of shops down through there. Massage. Boutique optical. I might check them out. I need new glasses. I didn't like the place I went before. But yeah. I mean, we're not. And somebody said that we were gossiping about it. And I'm like, this isn't gossiping. This is, like you said, free expression. It's just a discussion about, if they don't want to get talked about, then don't put out a blog. If I didn't want hate or trolls or whatever, I wouldn't be live streaming on YouTube. We know what we're getting into. Although I've been pretty lucky so far. But like I was telling, my husband and I were watching Natalie together. Like I said, he works nights, so we're rarely together watching the same thing. And I said that, every one of us protesters watched LA first and know exactly what we're getting into. Oh, I need olive oil from here. I bought my olive oil here before. We saw what they're going through. So we knew what could happen. Not that I wanted to, but we know. I mean, I was so expected of it that I carry 3 days of my medications with me. And I did have a toothbrush. Okay, where is the olive oil store? I've been in it. Let's go up here. I think it's on this side. Oh, look. Isn't that cute? My husband wants to make us stepping stones with Texas and stars on them. He's been collecting stars. Because he took building trades in college. He can do masonry and carpentry and all that stuff. He said he took shop in college. But yeah, we know exactly what we're getting into. It doesn't bother me at all. I do not care. Somebody wants to be mean, don't care. I don't know them. I'm never going to meet them. Don't care. The only people I care about is, you know, I want to be a good YouTuber for you guys and my family. Oh, look, they make this stuff here. Isn't that pretty? These are really... I had one of those. My husband got one for Christmas year before last at the work Christmas party. Those Stanley Cups, and they're expensive. At the time, they were like $47. Well, I gave it to my son because it was too tall for me. I was afraid I would knock it down. That's a florist. Oh, there's a cafe. Kathy's Boardwalk Cafe. Oh, support our soldiers. We have a lot of those around here because of the base. But I'm going to ask her before I go in if it's okay. They have infused oils and oh my goodness, we wanted to get so much. And we, you know, it's hard to get back here. Even though I pass it all the time, it's at the wrong time and I'm usually tired on the way home. Let's see if they're even open. Oh, they're closed on Tuesday. Look, they're closed. Oh my goodness. Well, now I know Tuesday's a bad day. The parents just abandoned them to the system. Hundreds of children living like orphans for no reason and minding themselves. I know. When I get to that point, I do. It's hard for me. You know, there's so much information to give new people that I don't always get to that. They're closed too. So Monday and Tuesday must be their closed days because they want to be open on weekends. Vintage goods. That freeway is driving me crazy. It ruins the ambiance. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's why we're all here. Ooh, do I want to walk back here? Ooh, they have nice grass. My grass isn't this nice. Oh, nope. Don't want to go that way. Turning slow. Calls to Consciousness interviewed Catherine Spallina, the bad cadet. Oh yeah, similar story to Jenna's. On the live, you could see pics of the kids in uniforms, blue, not brown, if you get my drift. And you know, the fact that they're all, you know, fairly decent adult human beings is a miracle in itself. I mean, I didn't have a great childhood, and I won't go into it, but my mom was not a very good mom. But luckily, the one thing she did right is she let me be a part of my dad's mom, my grandmother. And she taught me all the things I need to know. And she was a really great person. So I had at least a decent example in my life. And she's the one that instilled family in me. Although my kids are gone. I couldn't believe my daughter moved away. Because high school age and stuff. And like, even after she got married, she lived 0.6 miles away from me. So we were always pretty close because we didn't have anybody else. Being military, you know, we were 20 hours from all the rest of our family, their whole lives. I feel bad about that sometimes, right? Yeah. I'm gonna have to take a break in a second and break out my water bottle. How's the wind on the mic, you guys? It kind of comes in gusts. I've got trying to put my hand in front of it. It was nice having my sign that day. It was windy. I could put it right in front of the mic. I thought about hooking up my mic because it might distribute the wind a little better. Gift and beads. Oh yeah, we haven't even made it to the bead store yet. Serendipity, loose teas, and gourmet food. I love loose teas. I have infuser pots at home. I don't drink dark teas. I stick with green, white, or herbal. They have the best. Just don't understand how they can just give up on their kids. I don't either. I don't. Listening to Nora's story, talking about Surrey Cruise. Oh, here we are. So, I wonder if the bead store is even still here. It might not be. It was back here. Oh, I think it was the Red Barn. Oh, is it gone? Ah, good to know. Glad I didn't come out here. Red Barn Consignment used to be the bead store, and it was yellow. Yep, that was it, because they had an upstairs. And this was a stamp store. And then this over here was the Tuscan store. It was called Tuscan Certain. Now it's Max Mercantile. And I don't see a bench. Well, there's not much else to see. There's a really good antique store over there. We're at the other end, so I saw a bench behind me. I'm gonna go sit out for a couple minutes, get a drink. Oh, the wind. You know what? Let me go over here. I don't really see a public bench though. I want to get out of the wind. Oh, there's one. Let's see if that helps. I think this is our oak trees. They're really gnarly and weird. They grow funny. Oh, let's sit down for a minute. I need the water. Oh, I need the water. Okay, what do we got going? As Serge would say, to save a world. Oh yeah, Nora's story too. Yeah, that was hard. No one can deny their experiences. Absolutely. I mean, I look at my childhood and I'm like, I didn't have it so bad. My mom was just verbally abusive. But I had what I needed. I was fed. There were a lot of hand-me-downs, but I didn't mind. I did that with my kids. We still shop at Goodwill. My husband refuses to buy new jeans. Refuses. We have to go to Goodwill so he can buy $5 jeans. And they're usually in really good shape. Alright, I was trying to make sure. Yeah, no one can deny their experiences. And you know, I'm hoping it's cathartic for them to be able to be on with us and know they're in a safe place, even though there's jerk trolls out there. But most of us are there to support. And I say this again and again. The reason I do is hopefully I have new people on. And you never know when you've got somebody new on that don't know much about what's happening. But the reason I don't think we have it, all the drama that we do get is from outside. It's from, people that really aren't part of SPTV, not really. Or they've already walled themselves off on Discord and they're doing their own thing over there. 98% of the rest of anyone involved with SPTV, even just people who watch us, are good people. Because you wouldn't be here watching these stories and supporting these channels if you didn't have a compassionate heart yourself. We are in Salado. Do you know where I'm talking about? I couldn't make it to Austin today. I don't know I'm only gonna go out maybe once. I'll do my Thursday. Hubby said we need to be careful with the finances, and so the parking and the toll bills have been out the yin yang, and I didn't even know about text tag. So I-35 is not a toll road, but if there's an accident and they'll show me, it is 10 minutes faster if you go this way, and it's a toll road. Well, then we get the bill in the mail, and if he doesn't pay it right away, because he's usually on top of it, it turned from a $5 toll turns into a $50 toll because he thought he got them all and he didn't. So I finally saw the sign the other day. So I looked it up. I said, why don't I get text tag? Now I thought it was one of those things you pay monthly and you just pay the monthly fee and it gets you through the tolls. That's not what it is. It'll read your tag and it'll bill you directly online, and you can do auto pay, so it immediately comes out, which is what I'm going to do. So I don't have this issue anymore. Susan, it's like they create drama to keep the attention on anything other than Scientology or the kids. Well, there's a reason for some of that Nora has explored with Mike Rinder. Come to find out, this FBI investigation that he turned all those documents into, and he talked extensively with him, we come to find out it was only an investigation on the high execs being mistreated. And Brisker even reiterated that. And I never talked about the kids, never brought them up, nothing. I think that alone should get that guy kicked off of that, the board of that Children Protection Agency. What's it called? I know it. Whatever that lawyer just got kicked off. And Mike Rinder's on the board. And I'm like, he was in charge of a child trafficking cult and fair gaming anyone that tried to get out. And he's on the board of a child protection charity. I think it's charity. Yeah. Anything to cover up what he did. And I thought he had come out in the past and apologized to people and stuff, because I've heard other ones say they've done that. They've met people later and they apologized for their treatment. No. Everybody just welcomed him with open arms because he did the show and said, okay, you've done your part, you're forgiven, and it's still going on. He's still doing it. Let me get a better picture for you guys. Let me turn. That's better. It's prettier over here. I'll be out tomorrow. I get that it's expensive to drive from that far, and parking is ridiculous. I know, because I did have a place that was like $2 an hour, but they change daily. So if there's something going on, it'll go up. And so I haven't even been able to park there. And then the last 2 times I parked in that one parking garage, there's been a major to do on campus. And it took me 20 minutes for somebody to let me out to get out of my parking spot in the garage. I'm in a big truck. It's really hard to move around. And then it was another 15 minutes just to get around the corner and down the street to get on the main road. It was so... Child USA, that's it. He should not be on there at all. What exactly has he done for the kids? He was a producer on a show. He's done a little bit of a blog. So he was invited to be on the board of a foundation, and then kicked off the 2 people the person that founded it. Is there something at the end of every year where they say how many people they helped, where their money went? I thought charities, 501c had to do that. Because I'd really like to know how many people they've actually helped. Because I know 2 people that wouldn't sign their NDA and refuse their help. And I already said all this started right after they got $200,000. When they only had a little bit of money it was okay. Then they got all this money to be in charge with, which made them a bigger power. And then, oh, well, let's get rid of Aaron. Mike Render lied so easily on TV, saying Scientology had no disconnection policy. Really? Yep, really? Marilyn could tell you. Okay, I'll email her. All right, my break is over. I'm gonna go ahead and walk back. So, but yeah, I mean, all of that stuff. And that's why I didn't used to watch Nora as much as I am right now, mainly because I was spending all my time on the protester channels, trying to give them time. And I just recently started watching Natalie's channel. And I don't watch it live because I save it for my drive to Austin. Ugh, hold on, I gotta get up. This is low. There we go. That's why I said if I try to do chalk tech, I would never get back up. But yeah, I'd already said right when all that stuff happened with Aaron, I was going to wait a year from when that happened. So that was last August. So come this August, I'm contacting the government and I'm going to tell them they need to look into Aftermath Foundation and their money. Because I think it's awful weird that they kick him off right after they get this big fundraiser money and they start making it harder to help people. And the only two people I know about, I'm sure the inner people in Scientology know people that are being worked with, but that's all kept private. But I still think they should be looked into. Because I've been watching a little bit of the Harry and Meghan stuff on Popcorn Planet, and they looked into their charity, and their charity money all went to travel, clothes, and salaries. I think they donated all of about $10 million or $15 million. So there are ways you can get around and spend money legally. I mean, they traveled for the charity. Nora is good. Well, she knows, she's from inside. She can talk about that stuff way better than I can. And that's why I had notes. I was gonna if I went on that trail, I was gonna sit down and talk about Nora's video, and I was gonna bring it up. I had timestamps of things. I was gonna bring it up on another phone because I'm not on a computer. But if you've all probably watched it, and if you haven't, you should. But all their nastiness and blogs and attacking people, all it's doing is putting the microscope on them, or the spotlight, or both. There's a gazebo over here. Wonder if they just moved it. It doesn't look like the same one though. I think it was smaller. Chiropractic, acupuncture, and massage. I need to check that place out. My insurance doesn't cover chiropractic, so I have to do that on my own. My husband was getting acupuncture in the Army. They had a guy there that was doing it. He's gone. Yeah, I mean, these blogs that they're putting out, all it's doing is making us look at them harder. And not in a good way. So, matter of fact, when I do this, I'm going to tell everybody, I'm going to have the information, and we're all going to call the IRS and be like, you need to check out their finances. I just want to make sure they're doing what they need to be doing. Because why else would they have to get rid of the founders? I believe the lawyer quit too. They have a new lawyer because he didn't like what was going on. My biggest pet peeve, the biggest thing that chapped my butt was the Wikipedia page on the Aftermath Foundation. People, you're allowed to go in there on Wikipedia and update information. They review it and then they'll put it in. So people keep changing it to where Mike Rinder did not found the Aftermath Foundation. He was asked to be on the board, and coming to find out, I didn't know this, it was hard to get people to sit on the board. So sounds to me like they picked him because they couldn't get anybody else. And he keeps changing it back to he founded the Aftermath Foundation. Now, if that isn't narcissistic, I don't know what is. Definitely some sort of election's about to happen. There are a lot of signs. I wonder what's up with this camper here. I wonder if it was a food thingy or something. Who knows? This looks like somebody actually might live here. Yeah, there's a few people that actually live in here. Oh, check that thing out. It's a statue. Lawyer Kent was fired for fraternizing with a young woman who needed help. Yeah. He was fired from the charity, and he was fired from his law firm. What he did was wrong. You know, I think it's different. I mean, I think we know lawyers do it. They meet maybe a divorce attorney or something, but this was different. She was a victim of the very same thing. And who knows if she's the only one. She may be the only one that came forward. Because we don't know how many people they sent his way. Yeah, he deserved to get canned. Ooh, look at these statues. These are pretty. A frog on a turtle. I love it. Get closer. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I bet she's not the only one, Susan. I agree. Because somebody that has that predator mentality, they didn't just come up with that out of the clear blue sky. My husband was supposed to come with me today. He's off tonight. But he didn't get enough sleep this morning. He was awake too long. When it was time to wake him up, he was like, meh. I'm like, you want to go? No. I said, okay. Because he still has to sleep even though he's off. So I get off schedule on his weekends because if I want to spend any time with him, I'm up till 3 in the morning watching TV, and that throws me off schedule. Took advantage of the vulnerable. There could be more. Oh, there is more. Like I said, that guy, somebody with that mentality, and I'm curious to see if anybody within that organization comes forward. But they sent other victims to him. There may be victims out there that just don't want to be part of it, that don't want the publicity. You know, same thing with ex-Scientologists. Not all of them want to be on camera. Not all of them want to tell their story yet. Oh, they tore something down over here. So that's a new building, and boy, is it ugly. Why did they put that there? In this town, they should have put up a fence or something. That does not fit. See, that I know that used to be an antique store a long time ago. They really... I see what looks like. Why is there an opening there? Now that's probably somebody's property. I'm gonna go down by the river if y'all want to stick around. But yeah, I've been lucky, and I mean, there's so many people. I mean, it just boggles the mind that how many people have come forward And just in chat or whatever, yeah, that happened to me too. This happened to me as a child too. And I consider myself pretty darn lucky that there was some creepers in my life, but they creeped me out enough to stay away. I found out, okay, I kind of forgot all about this. My grandfather, I should say my grandmother's husband, she married him right before I was born. And my mom and my dad, I was born in 69, lived with them when I was born. And one of the reasons I think he never messed with me is my dad, he kind of was inappropriate with my mom. My dad told him that if he ever did anything, he'd kill him. And he even asked my grandma, why are you marrying this guy? He was nothing like her. She was a Christian woman, you know, all this other, she was involved in the VFW, and this guy was crass, and he was my whole life. Luckily, a lot of it, he was a truck driver. So she always had me over on weekends when he wasn't there. Now, I didn't find this out till I talked to my dad when I was 21. He had moved away and we weren't in much contact. So I remember when I was about 19, my cousin called me, and she was allowing grandma and grandpa to babysit, and her daughter and my sister, my half-sister, were the same age, and he was watching them together, and something happened, and she called me freaking out, and then I never heard anything about it again. He was just never allowed to be alone with them again. Well, I come to find out from my dad that he had molested kids in the neighborhood, and everybody knew it. And he was always inappropriate around me. Creepy. And when I lived there as a senior in high school, he was way inappropriate. He said a lot of things to me I never told grandma. The only reason I didn't punch him in the face is I would have had to explain why he was on the ground missing teeth. Yep, Hitzel. Susan. I always thought that kind of thing did not happen when I was a kid. It's just it wasn't talked about. Exactly. That's the thing that got me, is why didn't somebody beat his butt? Matter of fact, Dad told me that when they got married, they wanted to take him, and they said a group of them wanted to take him and tie him to the back of somebody's car and drive down the street, dragging him down the street. I was like, wow. And I think her answer to that question was companionship. She was lonely. And I think part of the reason was he was gone. He was a cross-country trucker. My stepdad was too. They're gone 3 weeks a year. And the piece of crap that he was, thank goodness, Grandma made sure he couldn't touch the house. Grandpa, her first husband, my dad, they built that house with their own two hands in the 40s. But he took the camper, which my grandmother, she worked jobs so that she would be off in the summer. So she could camp. And she had this camper. It wasn't huge. It was a motorhome. He took that and towed his truck and took all the tools out of the shed that weren't his. They were from her previous husband, and disappeared one day. Just left. I don't think she was sad at all. We were all happy, but he just did it in such a slimy way. But the fact that everybody knew and nobody did anything about it. Nobody beat his butt. Nobody took him out behind the shed. And I'm serious. I think the only reason he left me alone is my dad lived far away, but and here's the thing. Here's the funny part. So my dad died in 96 and my mom died in 99. They were gone young, 51 and 53. So My dad knew he was dying, but hadn't told me yet. And he came to visit. He said he was going and looking for a job, and he was in security, that he was moving to Vegas or something. Anyway, he told me he wanted to go look him up and go shoot him. I should say other words, sorry. Go take care of him. And now that I know he was dying, I think he was 100% serious. Because he knew he wasn't going to have to face justice. Nobody told back then, I guess, to save a reputation of a kid. Yeah, I can see that. But I still, if I was that kid's father or mother, I would have taken some sort of action. Maybe not legally back then, it was harder. Oh, where's the creek? I'm trying to get to the creek. It's down here. And see, that's why protesting is working. That's why SPTV is working. Because Scientology, just like all of them other people that we're talking about, has lived in secrecy for 70 years. And now they can't anymore. They can't combat the hundreds, over 100 SPTV channels. I know we have over 100 protesters, and I'm not sure how many ex-members have channels. But we got to be getting close to 200, Susan. Oh, I would have been in jail because I would have went after them. Yep. Yeah, I mean, now that you hear about... I mean, that was the 70s for me. 70s and early 80s. You know, back then, nobody did anything about those things. They didn't talk about it. The kids didn't know. It wasn't in the news. Like now, and even now, people get away with it because they mind control these kids, these young people. And that's what we're here for. That's what these little channels like mine that have 16 people watching, that's 16 informed people that can go out and tell 16 other people. And every one of those people can talk to 5 or 10 other people. They can't live in secrecy anymore, and they can't combat YouTube or TikTok, or, well, they've tried. They paid to have Jessica's channel taken down on TikTok, but you know what? She's back on YouTube. We all knew what we were getting into when we did this, so trying to mess with us won't work. Matter of fact, it looks like everybody that went to jail came right back within 24 hours, I think. Let me know if the wind gets too much. That's why I'm kind of turned. I'm trying to keep the mic out of the wind. But that's the job. That's what SPTV, why it took off like it did. It's the right time. It's the right place. People have protested before, but it didn't get much, it got attention, but not like this is. Not like we're getting now. My frustration is it's not getting out of the bubble enough. Meaning, we have fans of SPTV watching our channels, but it's not getting out in the public enough. Well, that's what we're doing on the street. We're trying to get it out, but I want to see other news organizations and newspapers and journalists talking about this more. I went to Corsicana Daily Sun after somebody sent me a link. It's just some town in Texas. They're not near an org. And they have article after article after article, and you can tell it was just press releases that were sent to them that they published. Oh, well, they did this today, and they had this event, and it was a great turnout, and you know, blah blah blah. And this is where I always encourage our keyboard warriors. Find your local news organizations, your small town newspaper. Start with them. Start with somebody that isn't a conglomerate that somebody's going to shut down like they did Dodge. I can't read it. It's dark. What's mythical force be with you? Thanks. You know, this isn't that big of a deal because I have the time and I have the opportunity. It's not like I have to take a day off of work or something to go do this. All right, which way do I want to walk down? Grass or path? I think we'll go over to the steps. I don't trust myself to be going down the hill. That might be fun for you guys. Watch me roll. Hey, Dr. Mark. Thanks. Appreciate it. I couldn't make it to Austin today. We're in Salado, Texas, which is not quite halfway to Austin it's about a third-ish of the way. Anyway, it's like a touristy little town that used to have a lot more antique shops than it does now. And I just thought I'd bring you guys someplace pretty. Susan, I know. That's why I drive, because I wanted to really do this. But until you can, just supporting is so helpful. I don't get a lot of views. A lot of the other channels don't get a lot of views, but you know what? We'll take what we can get. That's all I care about. Oh, it's so pretty down there. Maybe we won't hear the freeway down there as much. I hope I don't have to walk all the way around that building. Wait a minute. I don't see a way down. Ugh. Oh, I love pottery. I am from... Oh, you're from Eugene? My mom always bought our dishes from the artisan hippies in Eugene. Support local artistry. Oh my gosh. I want to live in Eugene. So, a couple of years ago, I looked at everywhere in the United States. And I looked at weather. I looked at how cold it got. I looked at how hot it got. And I settled on Oregon. And then I looked at the fault lines. And that Oregon gets... Because I was in California for the 89 quake. That was fun. So I didn't want to do that again. And I knew you couldn't be on the coast in Oregon because the fault line is in the water and you could get a tsunami. So I settled on Oregon because I actually have a craft website. And I have a craft room, and I tried to start my craft business, but when my back went out, that went all by the wayside. You guys can find me. There's nothing on it. It's been under construction for years. I couldn't get my pictures to upload at the time, and I kind of just gave up. And I just been paying for it to keep the domain. It's Hillbilly Hippie Designs. Ah, stairs. Haha. I thought I was going to have to walk all the way around. So, I'm going to try to get, and I give away practically everything I make. I haven't made any money on it. I love Texas. Just a different country to me, being from Pacific Northwest. Oh, thanks. Oh, let me do this in order. Who has the time to be negative? It's total BS by the ding-dongs on Aftermath board. I just have zero time for that BS. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about it just because we have opinions on it. I'm mainly just talking about it because I support the people that she's trying to tear down. It's not working. Nobody's taking her crap seriously. And if they are, they're not part of SPTV. But yeah, I've never been to the Pacific Northwest, and I'll be honest, I could have been a much healthier person had I not been stuck in Texas for 31 years. Because I could never go out in the summer. I grew up canoeing and camping and hiking and being outdoors up north, even in winter. And here, you can't go out for 4 or 5 months of the year. I was a Girl Scout leader, and we shut down June, July, and August because it was too hot. We tried camping in March one time, and we had to leave. It got down to freezing. Oh, we're here. We made it. I'm too close to the phone. I keep pulling it too close. Let me switch hands. There we go. I mean, I like the state. I like the government. I like everything about it. I've never been a person that could handle the heat. And after I got sun poisoning, the second summer I was here, if I went to the lake, when the kids were little, we used to do that. I was covered from head to toe with hat and towel and shirt. People tell me my skin looks so good. I go, because I've never been in the sun. And even right now, I have a moisturizer with SPF in it on. I can still hear the highway. It's a bummer. I miss water. I went to canoe trip camp in middle school. That was so fun. You went on the river for 3 to 5 days. I tried canoeing here on the lake, and it was impossible. I grew up in Texas and stayed outside all the time. Now it will kill me. Really? Where? I think you've mentioned it before. What part of Texas? Dallas? I got sun poisoning, and I live in New England. Carrie? I know. It's like my parents, when I was a kid, didn't know what sunblock was. I remember getting it as a kid, but I was wearing sunblock. I guess I just didn't put on enough. Denton. Oh yeah, I remember now. Up near Dallas, right? Or up near the border. Hang on, there's gonna be a bump. Ooh. More bumps. I want to jump in there so bad right now. My husband would kill me if he saw me. Got a creek 5 minutes from my place. Oh, that's nice, Rude. I don't. We always have to get in the car to go some... Oh, you can't hear the road as much down here. Oh, it's nice. I would love to be in that right now. Right outside Dallas, yeah. I've been up to Dallas. Not to really do much. We just go. I took the kids to the Mesquite Rodeo, my Girl Scouts, and the Omni Theater, and the Nature Museum. And some of it was in Fort Worth. I've been to the Stampede in Fort Worth. Oh, Sedona, Arizona. Yeah, I'm a woods person. I gotta have trees. Thank God we at least live in an area that's somewhat green. But this is my thing right here. I used to go riding my bike just for all day. We'd pack a lunch and go ride our bikes. Go to the woods and have lunch. We even did that in high school. None of us had cars. Everything's red, the dirt, the sand, the rocks, the creek when it rains. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna sit right here. Oh, it's not even that warm today. I think it was only gonna be 73. It's just because I was moving around. I know there's people that like those kind of landscapes. I wouldn't mind visiting. Like I said, when I picked on my street, um, there were different places for sale, and I picked the one with the most trees, which was a mistake, because now after all the drought and the shrink, and then it gets wet and then it shrinks, we've had 4 trees break in half. We did the bike thing all day too with a sack lunch. Yep. I grew up an hour east of Los Angeles though, so I really miss green grass. Yeah. We have grass, but it's this mangy grass. And the problem in Texas, we need the corner of our house leveled. When it dries during the summer, like our grass dies during the summer, I'm like, I can't wait for it so we don't have to pay somebody to mow anymore. It's winter when you gotta mow because it rains. We get rain instead of snow. But we get cracks in the ground sometimes. I took a stick one time a couple summers ago and stuck it in one of the cracks, and it was like 2 feet deep. So that's why you can't have basements and in-ground pools around here. And then there's a lot of rocks underneath the dirt. So eventually, if you're gonna have to re-level or do something to your foundation. And our house is, let's see, almost 30 years old. And when I cook, it kind of needs leveled back where the laundry room and kitchen are. When I cook, the oil goes to one side of the pan. Yeah, when we start, we're going to go full-time on the road. Now, we have a travel trailer right now, but it's really too big. So I want to trade it in on either a Class C, a smaller travel trailer. My husband wants to build out a bus. We've been watching bus builds. But we got to wait till he's ready to quit working. He likes the extra money and buying his toys and stuff. So we could live just fine on his Army retirement and stuff. I will rent the house out. I want to go. I'm ready to do it now. Move the camper up near Waco where he works, so he wouldn't have such a long drive. But then for me to protest, it would be a 2.5-hour drive. 28-foot travel trailer for 8 years now. Yeah, ours is 33 feet with 2 slides. I wanted a big kitchen. It sleeps 10, but my family moved away. And it is so, we went way too big for our first one. But I was like, I knew in my mind I wanted to live in it. So we have an island in the kitchen. But we've literally taken it out 3 times in 4 years. It needs fixed though, that's why we haven't taken it out in the last year. We've got to call and make an appointment. It's got an extended warranty. The electrics went out for some reason. We don't know why. But yeah, I watch all that stuff. The van life, the buses, all that stuff. The alternative, the tiny. I wanted to do a tiny house for a long time. But then my husband wasn't into that at all. But when he started seeing the bus builds, the reason he wants to do that is a bus can take just about anything. It's heavy duty. And that's what he wants to do. So I've been watching that a lot. My trailer is a classic 71 Bowles Aereo, all original. It was made, oh, I know what those are. Made by an airplane company, so it's a sturdy beast. Yep, I've seen those. I've seen people redo those or look for them. Yeah, I'm trying to get, my son wants to build his own house. But I'm like, honey, the way things cost now, I go, maybe you should look at a tiny house. And, you know, tiny houses aren't that tiny sometimes. Bigger than his apartment. But I want something that I can go, if it gets too hot or too cold, I can leave. really looking at I want to go from the travel trailer to a Class C. What it was is they told us our truck could tow what it weighs, and on paper it does. But when we were having the truck repaired and talking to the mechanic, he said, no, you don't have the beefed up rear suspension or the transmission for it. So we've never gone very far with it. And we're kind of irritated because that was the whole reason we bought a truck. And to buy a new truck, they're like, you'd be paying, even for the base model, you're looking at $800 a month. And I don't want to get a new truck. So I'd be in for a smaller travel trailer because now it's just us. My son and his son might come. And I want to be able to go out to California and visit my daughter with it. I want a Class C because that would give us an extra vehicle. He would have his vehicle to go to work, and I could go if I wanted. I could go visit my daughter for a month if I wanted. Which I did last September. And he didn't really miss me that much. He sleeps all day anyway and doesn't see me very often. And especially now, I'm usually gone Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he's off those days, but he still has to sleep. So Wednesday's his only good day. That's why he hasn't worked on my sign as much as I'd hoped. We're going to try to work on it tomorrow. Because everybody's coming out with all this cool, fun stuff, and I'm like, I've had this great idea forever now. We have all the stuff to do it, but he just hasn't had time to help me with it, to get all the pieces. He has to heat gun and stretch the PVC pipe to fit. And he got it to finally fit, but there's other things we need to do. So it's almost peaceful down here. Let's see, an hour and a half. Yeah, I'll definitely be back on Thursday. Did y'all see Selfless Self and the Angry Ginger on Natalie's show? I didn't realize he was still in Austin. So I already told my husband I watched that today. If I see him, yeah, I said, I'm going to be like, hey, Angry Ginger, are your TRs still out or did you get correction training? I know, that's what I listen to at night. You know what I listened to last night to go to sleep? I was looking for Gregorian monks chanting, but they had bells in them every once in a while. And I landed on Aramaic chanting. It was awesome. I fell asleep to that last night. You know who I used to fall asleep to? Yeah, that guy's got serious issues. Serious anger issues. But you know, we know what they've been through. So it's kind of understandable. They don't want to be told that what they put their life into is a child trafficking cult. And I understand that, and that's one of the reasons I can't be confrontational. I get ones who are. It does bring a lot of attention, especially where they are, you know. We need that attention in Austin. You know, we don't have a big group. And then, you know, DOA, you know, he's bringing a lot of attention to it with, he wears the costumes and he's loud and, you know, it's bringing awareness the way that I can't bring. But, you know, I do get to talk to a lot of people and I get to educate a lot of people that may not know or know everything. I have gotten quite a few people that don't know. They know Scientology is bad. They don't know the specifics of why. And hopefully the more people we tell that they're child abusing and elder abusing and there's nothing good coming from it, maybe they'll become activists too. Maybe they'll start watching, and maybe we'll talk to somebody in government or know somebody in government, or the city council, or you never know. You never know who you're talking to. You never know who they might know. And that's what I think, you know. Oh, there's a couple up here. Yeah. Oh, I think Nora, if she was out protesting, and I think she did go, but she would bring way more attention than I would. I'm not shy. I can be loud. I don't know. I feel bad for the people inside. I just want to tell them that we're out here for them. And I want to get that sign done so they can see the Aftermath phone number. Or not Aftermath. SBTV Foundation. Because I yell it, but they'll be able to see it when they go by. And I'm going to start, since I can't see through the door very well anymore, and I've told you how I can't block the walkway, so I can't get close like they can in other cities where the sidewalk's really small. But if I set up over on the corner where they come around, it's a lot narrower there. So I could get away with filming them coming up the side of the building, and I'd have more time to talk to them than them just running by. And I might be able to see their collars to see if they're Sea Org or staff. The Sea Org is who family members can't get a hold of, mostly, and staff. So, I see people are dropping off. It's okay. I'm just gonna sit here. I wouldn't care if nobody was watching me live. I'd still do it. Every time I think about, you know, I could have not come on today at all and just taken the day off, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure that, you know, you never know who might be going by and say, oh, that's pretty. And we can also get some Scientology in there too. Thanks, Susan. Yeah, that was a lot of walking for me. Back when I've been overweight since my daughter was born. There was some medical things that happened back then. But I had so much muscle because I hiked with the Girl Scouts. We did everything outdoors. We were an outdoor troop. And because that's how I grew up, outside. And then before I had there was a year and a half in there where I delivered for Domino's, and I just wanted a part-time job, and I knew I could get it fast because I had done it twice before. And I was delivering, it was off post, but it was blocks from on post, so I would go deliver to the barracks. And I'm running up 3 floors of stairs and down all night long, carrying pizza and drinks. So I was strong and I was healthy and I had a lot of muscle. My calves were huge. Now I'm the same weight. It's all flab. I have lost all my lean muscle, and I've never been like this before. It's very disconcerting and irritating. So I'm trying to get in shape. That's why I'm still going to do my lives. But now that it's getting nice out, I'm going to start doing more nature type walks or city type walks. I can get my walking in, and if anybody wants to see what's going on, they can check in. That's why I'm trying to get my other gimbal to work right, so it's not so bouncy. So I'm going to research, but every time I try to do something like this, there's always some sort of, once I finally got on, it went well. But I don't even know if I told you, some of you. So I wanted to go to this park near the dam and the lake, not realizing it was down so low under the dam and in a valley. As soon as I parked and I tried to bring up YouTube, it wouldn't connect. I was like, okay, so I immediately left, and I'm like, I could go to the lake. It's more open, probably has more signal. And then I was like, you know what? Salado's right around the corner, almost. It was a few miles. So I went in, and I'm trying to update my time and tell you I'll be late. And every time I've ever tried to go into live and change settings, it disappears. Like there's no save button that I can find. So then it was gone. So then I redid it. So then I got the Salado. Then the DJI app for my gimbal was nowhere to be found on my phone. And so it wouldn't connect. It was acting stupid. So then I had to leave. I'm looking for it. I'm trying to re-download it, but it's saying because I'm doing it over internet, or not internet, not Wi-Fi, but you know, AT&T, it was going to take forever to re-download. I'm like, you know what, screw this. And I got my basic gimbal back out, my trusty little gimbal I always carry. Well, I call it a gimbal because it's supposed to, it only keeps it from left to right, but because it never works right. So really it's just a selfie stick. So I got my trusty selfie stick out. I'm like, I'm gonna make it happen. That's why I say, somebody was telling somebody, just start with a cheap selfie stick. This gimbal is a good selfie stick. It does a gimbal from left to right, which is nice. And it has this for $26. It has a remote, so if you sit, and it has a built-in tripod. So if you sit it somewhere and you want to take pictures by yourself, you've got a remote to take pictures, which I probably will never need. I've never been the picture taking. I hate being in pictures and stuff, not until I get in better shape. Whew, I'm really far from my car. I'm going to walk back that way if y'all want to stick around. Let me get my water put away. I hope I can make it back. I shouldn't have sat down. Oh no. I wish Tom could have come. Would have been nice. We might go out tomorrow and maybe I'll just, ow, my tushy hurts. I'm on this rock. Ow, 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 ow. I'm too old for this. Okay. And she's up, everyone. Okay. We gotta get back up here. I'm gonna try to find a better way up. It's really not. Come back, I'll have to remember that spot. I'm checking the chat if there's anything y'all want to talk about. Maybe there's shows and stuff that I haven't seen that somebody had, because like I said, I've been making sure I'm watching Nora now. You know, I've watched everybody when they've had interviews on like Aaron's channel and things like that, but I've never really gone around watching all the channels of the ex-members. Mainly I just like I said, I've mainly been watching the protest channels, and I watch Aaron, and Natalie does the recap, which I think is awesome. She should call it SPTV Morning News, but the title of her channel is still really good. But she's great. You can pretty much figure out what's going on watching her, and I don't get to watch her live most times because I save it for my drive to Austin. So sometimes because it's a long time, I watch 2 shows. I like MD Media 18. Yeah, Natalie was talking about that channel this morning. Where, is that a protester? Or, what channel is that? Because I've gone through a lot of channels, but I don't remember that one. I may have watched it. Because I'll do what Aaron does. I just hit the live. Now that we've got that other site, that's even way better. But if I'm subscribed, I just hit the live and they all pop up. I'll check it out. I'm sure I've watched them at some point. But I try to find the smallest channels. Like, let's see, who were we watching in San Francisco the other day? Like me, had 7 or 8 people. I was watching Carrie Ann yesterday. Plus, it's cool looking at all the other orgs and stuff, too. Yes, protester in Pasadena and LA. Oh, I've watched Pasadena, so I probably did watch it. I didn't realize I hadn't really ever sat and watched Lori Plays, because when she was out, Aaron and them was out with her. So I would watch, I saw her with them. I watched her last night, yesterday, and she sings too. And I started dinner, and I didn't realize I was in there dancing in the kitchen. Because I had her on the tablet and in my earbud. Because I always take the tablet out and I have a holder that I put it on. Oh wait, where am I parked? Oh, this way. So that was pretty cool. I'm surprised Paraditology hasn't gone live yet. I'd really like to see him go live. Well, he's not at an org anymore. But he could just play his van and... Oh, I thought they were coming towards me. And play his songs. He doesn't do the music to the songs because it's copyrighted. But you can tell if you listen for a minute what song he's singing to. And he doesn't do just a little bit of the song. He did the whole song. It was pretty cool. Farrell Cheryl is good. Yep, I've seen her. Let's see, who else? I have to keep looking at the list because we're always getting new channels. You know, it took the Squirrel Squad and Will. I started my channel, I made it a while back. Thinking all I would do is go to Austin and maybe film Pearl Snappy and just put some clips or something on it. But watching those young kids out there every single day really inspired me. And going through what they've done, what they've gone through, that had to be hard. That was hard for Danny. Because they knew when they charged him and arrested him that it wouldn't stick. But that wasn't the point. And it upset his mom. We all knew he was going to get out, but he had to go through that horrible time. I would hate to have to go through that. And then he was right back out. Coming to Austin right after. Or no, that was the first time, I think. But eventually the DA or somebody is going to get tired of seeing these cases come in and these people going to jail, knowing when they look at the case, this should have never been here. There's all this video evidence. Why are they here? Eventually somebody's going to question that crap when the same officers are arresting the same people all the time. They may have already gotten a talking to, or they would have been doing it more again. Yeah, they have good hearts. They really do. Especially after getting attacked like that. That's a big deal. And I guess Chris Without a Hellcat has stopped. He was young. I think he was a minor, wasn't he? Or he was young enough. He still lived at home. I think his parents made him quit. But I understand. I mean, I'm surprised. That's the point. That's what they're doing. Hi, puppy. He's a puppy. I thought about bringing one of mine, but they've never really gone anywhere with me. They're yard dogs, so they're not very good on the leash. I need to start training them. Yeah, Susan, yeah. They definitely, I think they did. Which, I mean, I can understand it. They were really supportive for a while, but there was just too much shenanigans going on. Any parent wouldn't want. I mean, his car got keyed, the other stuff, and seeing what was happening to everyone else, I can understand. I wouldn't want my kid out there doing that. I would have made him stop too. Or I'd have been out there with him and make sure he was safe. Or at least went to pick him up so he didn't have to go down. That's a lot. I don't know how far he was driving either. I know not all those kids live right around there. The kids being around second gens and hearing their stories in person. Yeah. I don't know what they were doing on their TikTok channels before that. Because I know I didn't have TikTok. I did finally create a TikTok, but only on my other phone. I tried, one day I downloaded it onto my good phone, this one. I was like, no, and I deleted it, like, immediately. And my phone acted weird for a couple of weeks until YouTube was acting up. I would have to restart my phone. And then when there was a software update, it finally quit. I don't trust it. So it's on my extra phone, which isn't on service. And I started a Miss Kim channel, but I'm not really interested. I don't know how to work it. I'm doing my best just to work YouTube. Alright, my peeps. Yeah, I sound silly when I try to say stuff. I'm close to my vehicle. So I will be in Austin on Thursday. Unless Tom, I can't say that for sure. Unless Tom needs me, it might be Friday. So Thursday or Friday. But I'll try, when I know for sure, I'll try to put it out ahead of time. I appreciate y'all sticking with me. It wasn't protesting, but we got to see a really nice town though. So I'll see you later. Bye.